A warm welcome to all our viewers. I'm your host, Shivangi Mishra, and you're watching another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. In a rapidly shifting global trade order, India is stepping forward as a decisive economic force. A landmark free trade agreement with New Zealand, finalized in just 9 months, is not just a trade deal, but a strategic statement. By unlocking markets, attracting billions in investment, and expanding its Indo-Pacific footprint, India is positioning itself as a confident global growth engine, shaping the future of international trade.
At a time when global trade is increasingly fragmented, India is choosing expansion over hesitation, sealing a landmark free trade agreement with New Zealand that reflects speed, strategy, and intent. Signed by Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and New Zealand Trade Minister Todd McLean, the agreement stands out for its pace, concluded in under a year, signalling strong political will and economic alignment. This deal is part of India's broader trade push, with over a dozen FTAs already in place, including ASEAN, UAE, Australia, Japan, and South Korea. India is steadily building a diversified and resilient trade network. More importantly, this agreement strengthens India's role in Indo-Pacific at a time when nations are looking for stable, democratic, and reliable economic partners.
This once-in-a-generation agreement delivers opportunities that New Zealand exporters have never had in India. It will deliver thousands of jobs and unleash huge potential for our world-class exporters. Not only will it enhance established business relationships, it will accelerate the development of new partnerships to significantly boost economic engagement and bringing benefits to both of our countries.
The numbers underline the scale of opportunity. India will gain 100% duty-free access to the New Zealand market, covering thousands of products from textiles to pharmaceuticals, giving Indian exporters a massive competitive edge. At the same time, India has negotiated carefully, reducing or eliminating tariffs on about 95% of New Zealand exports, while protecting sensitive domestic sectors like dairy and agriculture. The agreement also opens up 118 service sectors, from telecom to tourism, boosting opportunities for Indian professionals, startups, and service providers. And beyond trade, the deal is expected to bring in $20 billion in investment into India, driving growth across manufacturing, food processing, and innovation.
On the investment side, this agreement is expected to channel $20 billion into India, fueling agriculture, manufacturing, food processing, innovation, and generating jobs and business opportunities across the country.
India is the fastest growing economy in the world and wants to adopt that innovation and technology and has a tremendous ambition. So we see the opportunity to collaborate, to co-invest, to co-invent and to co-create to deliver impact for both nations.
Beyond immediate gains, the agreement reflects something deeper: India's growing confidence in shaping global economic rules. Experts say the FTA will unlock new opportunities for labor-intensive sectors like textiles, footwear, gems and jewelry, while also boosting mobility for students and professionals. It also marks a soft power win, recognizing India's Ayush sector and expanding its global footprint. At a time when supply chains are being redefined and economies are looking to de-risk, India is emerging as a preferred hub, offering scale, stability and innovation.
हमारी जो इंडस्ट्री है, जो हमारा उद्योग है, वो भी अब ग्लोबल कंपटीशन को डील करने के लिए पूरी तरह से सक्षम है, तैयार है। ये डील जो आज साइन हुई है, ये बहुत से नए आयाम भारतीय एक्सपोर्टरों के लिए खोलेगी, विशेषकर उन क्षेत्रों में जो लेबर इंटेंसिव हैं, चाहे टेक्सटाइल्स हो, गारमेंट्स हो, फुटवेयर हो, जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी हो। इन सभी क्षेत्रों में हमारे जो एक्सपोर्टर्स हैं उनको लाभ होगा। साथ ही साथ इसमें स्टूडेंट्स और जो हमारे प्रोफेशनल्स हैं उनके लिए भी बहुत से प्रोविजंस किए गए हैं, उनको भी लाभ होगा। स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ाई करने के बाद कार्य करने का वहाँ पर न्यूजीलैंड में अवसर मिलेगा, और साथ ही हमारे प्रोफेशनल्स चाहे आयुष के इंस्ट्रक्टर्स हों, योगा टीचर्स हों, म्यूजिशियंस हों, उनको भी वहाँ जाकर कार्य करने का अवसर मिलेगा।
The India-New Zealand FTA is more than a bilateral deal. It is a signal to the world. A signal that India is ready to lead in a changing global order. A signal that partnerships in the Indo-Pacific are deepening. And a signal that India's growth story is now firmly tied to global opportunity.
Thousands of Afghan refugees are once again caught in a worsening humanitarian crisis at the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, as Islamabad accelerates forced deportations amid escalating cross-border tensions. With violence flaring and uncertainty looming, families who have lived in Pakistan for decades now face an uncertain return to a homeland many have never seen. At the Torkham border crossing, scenes of desperation continue to unfold. Hundreds of Afghan refugees, including women and children, remain stranded in makeshift camps waiting for clearance to cross into Afghanistan. Many of them are second and third generation migrants born and raised in Pakistan, now being pushed out under Islamabad's controversial expulsion drive. Since 2023, Islamabad has expelled over 2 million Afghans, insisting that only those with valid visas can remain, ignoring the deep-rooted ties many refugees have built over decades.
بس محسوسي دغه محسوسي ده چې ژوند چېرته تېره کړي هغه د مور و پلار قرته دغه لري سړی چې خبر خفګان لري لکه مور و پلار چې چا نه جدا شي او خوشحالي په دې ده چې خپل ملک ته ځو الله دې همت راکړي چې څنګه ژوند مې په پاکستان تېر کړی دی دغسې ژوند دې مې الله هلته نصیب کړي په خپل ځاني خو مو ژوند ښه تېر کړی خو د بچو کړاوونه نن زړه نه غواړي چې تېر کړو خو پس ته دې به د الله نه دا سوال کوو چې زموږ په بچو دې الله سختي نه راولي څنګه امن ژوند موږ د پاکستان تېر کړی دغسې امن ژوند د خپل وطن غواړو.
Pakistan justifies the expulsions by blaming the Taliban for sheltering militants responsible for attacks inside its territory. Kabul has repeatedly denied these claims, calling militancy Pakistan's internal failure. Yet, instead of addressing security concerns through diplomacy, Islamabad's mass deportation policy appears to be targeting vulnerable civilians, raising serious questions about collective punishment and human rights violations. The situation has been further worsened by fresh clashes along the Pakistan-Afghanistan border. Recent mortar shelling and cross-border firing have injured civilians, disrupted transit routes, and repeatedly shut the Torkham crossing, leaving refugees stranded in makeshift camps with little access to food, shelter, or medical aid. The humanitarian strain is visible in the long queues of trucks stretching for miles, carrying families and their belongings. Refugees report waiting for days, sometimes over a week, amid uncertainty over whether the border will remain open or shut again due to ongoing hostilities.
نو دلته لاس شپې موږ پوره شولې دا تقریبا لارې کې ولاړ یو نو موږ بیا تورخم ته نږدې شو نو هلته بیا که دا تورخم بند شي نو موږ ته بیا ډېره غټه مسله ده نو دې به بیا څه کېږي نو موږ ته دا بندوبست پکار دی ټول افغانانو ورونو ته خبرې چې دی یعنې دا غټه مهرباني به موږ دا وي چې ښه په خوشحالۍ او ښه په مینې محبت موږ رخصت کړو چې موږ ته نور تکلیف پېښ نه شي.
As tensions mount, fear is becoming a constant companion for those stranded at the border. Refugees warn that any renewed fighting could shut crossings indefinitely, leaving thousands trapped in limbo without shelter, food, or security.
ولا ډیره یرم ده یره خو هم ډیره په دې ده چې جګړه به وشي بیا به میاشت دوه میاشتې بند دي بیا به دلته ولاړ یو نو او دې نه دا اپیل دی موږ له حکومت ته چې دا باید خلاص شي او دا رش زر تر زره کم شي.
Despite Pakistan's repeated claims that Afghan refugees pose a security threat, international observers say the mass expulsions risk triggering a humanitarian disaster, particularly for families
with deep roots in Pakistan and no support systems in Afghanistan.
Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent.
Toshimitsu Motegi met Penny Wong in Tokyo to discuss growing concerns over energy supply in the Asia-Pacific region. Ongoing tensions between Iran and the United States have disrupted global oil routes, especially with the Strait of Hormuz close to shipping. Penny Wong stressed that strong cooperation between Japan and Australia is important to handle the situation and ensure stable energy supplies. The meeting took place ahead of a planned visit by Japanese leader Sanae Takaichi to Australia next week. Australia, which relies heavily on imported fuel, is already facing local shortages due to the Middle East conflict that began in February, adding pressure on regional energy security. Iraq is increasing solar power in Basra to cut its reliance on fossil fuels and deal with a gas shortage. The Basra Sun project started in March 2026 with a 250 megawatt unit already connected to the national grid. Led by Total Energies, the full project aims to produce 1 gigawatt of electricity using nearly 2 million solar panels. The plant uses modern technology like solar tracking systems that follow the sun to increase power generation, along with robotic cleaning to keep panels efficient in dusty conditions. Iraq is also planning new solar projects in Samawa and Nasiriyah. The shift to renewable energy will help reduce pollution, lower carbon emissions, and improve electricity supply, especially during peak demand, while addressing climate and energy challenges. Parts of the historic Medici family collection will be auctioned online on May 2nd, featuring over 724 items once owned or selected by the family. The sale also includes popular culture items linked to Michael Jackson, such as his gloves, shoes, and hat, expected to attract high bids. Memorabilia related to Marilyn Monroe, included personal items and messages, will also be offered. A major highlight is a piano used by Lady Gaga in the film A Star Is Born, valued between $60,000 and $100,000, with auction proceeds supporting a mental health charity. The collection also features rare jewelry, coins, and watches dating back to the 14th century. One of the top items is a gold pocket watch linked to Pope Pius IX, noted for its detailed craftsmanship and historical importance.
Separatist sentiment is resurfacing in Pakistan's Sindh province with renewed calls for an independent Sindhu Desh. Marking the 31st death anniversary of nationalist leader G.M. Syed, large gatherings and protests have highlighted growing discontent. Activists allege systemic economic exploitation, demographic pressure, and human rights violations, raising fresh questions about internal instability and federal control in Pakistan.
These are scenes from Sindh, where pro-independence slogans are once again echoing across the province. The movement traces its ideological roots to G.M. Syed, who first articulated the idea of Sindhu Desh decades ago. On his 31st death anniversary, thousands gathered in Sun, turning the event into a major political mobilization. Sindh accounts for a significant share of Pakistan's economy, hosting key ports like Karachi and contributing an estimated 30% of national GDP, yet activists argue that local communities see little benefit from this wealth.
साइन ने 31 मार्च 1973 को सिंध यूनिवर्सिटी जामचोरो में अपने एजाज में मुनक्किद एक तकरीब में सिंधु देश की आज़ादी का तस्वर पेश किया और सिंध और साथ ही तमाम महकूम कौमों को आज़ादी की भरपूर हिमायत की। कौमी आज़ादी या हक़ खुदरादियत हर कौम का इंसानी पैदाइशी और जमहूरी हक़ है, जिसे अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा के चार्टर में भी तस्लीम किया गया है।
At the shrine of G.M. Syed, the symbolism was striking. Instead of Pakistan's national anthem, participants played the anthem of a proposed Sindhu Desh, signaling a clear assertion of identity. Leaders accused Pakistan's power structure, particularly the military establishment, of engineering demographic and political changes in Sindh. Human rights groups have repeatedly flagged concerns over forced conversions and abductions of minority girls, especially from Hindu communities in Sindh, issues that continue to draw international attention. In London, the issue gained international visibility. An event organized by the Jai Sindh Freedom Movement brought together voices from across Pakistan's marginalized regions, including Baloch and Pashtun activists. Speakers argued that Sindh's integration into Pakistan in 1947 remains contested among nationalist groups and that decades of resource extraction, political centralization, and limited provincial autonomy have intensified separatist narratives. Activists note that such cross-regional solidarity among ethnic movements signals a broader pattern of internal dissent.
No independence or region policy. People call Pakistan a democratic state, but let me be clear, Pakistan is a security state. A security state means policies are not made in Islamabad, but everywhere else, and then handed over down. And for sake of for those or for their own interest, if they must commit genocide against whole nation, they will do it. This is what a security state means. But we will not remain silent. Our people need us, and in the end, I would say we need equality, justice. We need provinces should have their own control on their own resources. Every ethnicity should have education in their own language. Stop enforced disappearance. Stop extrajudicial killings of Pashtun and Baloch. Give people freedom of speech and expression.
Reports by global watchdogs have repeatedly pointed to restrictions on dissent, enforced disappearances, and curbs on press freedom in Pakistan, issues that activists say are central to their demands. With growing international advocacy and rising domestic unrest, the Sindhu Desh movement is once again emerging as a critical fault line in Pakistan's internal dynamics.
And now we take you to Chennai in southern India, where history breathes, culture thrives, and modern ideas shape everyday life. Set along the Bay of Bengal, the city offers a rich tapestry of experiences, from serene beaches and distinctive architecture to its world-renowned cuisine. Come, discover Chennai, a city deeply rooted in tradition, yet confidently embracing the future.
Chennai, one of India's major metros, blends timeless charm with a vibe that's uniquely its own. Stretching along the Bay of Bengal, the city feels alive with coastal energy. At its heart lies Marina Beach. More than just a beach, is the city's soul. Around it, icons like Vivekanand House and the Chennai Lighthouse tell stories of legacy and pride. And just when you think you have seen it all, the buzzing street food scene pulls you in, serving flavors that are as bold and unforgettable as Chennai itself.
This place is very peaceful. You can see everything here. You can see almost all the life of Chennai here. You can see around there are a lot of vendors doing their daily livelihoods here. There is a lot of these animals, there is a lot of these people who come here to refresh, to bath. You can see the groundmost reality of people here that you don't get to see in other popular landmarks.
हम इसके बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा सुने थे और रियली में वाकई में आया तो उससे भी ज़्यादा खूबसूरत देखने के लिए मिल रहा है और हम लोग पूरे फ्रेंड्स लोग आए हैं बाद में भी हम अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ भी आ सकते हैं और ये इंडिया का बहुत बड़ा अच्छा बीच है.
As night falls, Marina Beach transforms into a whole new world. The sound of the waves, the glow of the lights, and the lively crowds create an atmosphere that is both calming and energizing. That's why Marina Beach remains a must-visit destination in Chennai by day and by night.
Marina is the second largest beach in the world. First one is Miami and this one is second one. And people every day, not only the festival days, all the days, they are coming, hundreds of people, thousands of people to visit this place, and they are enjoying their life by staying here.
We have so many best places in Chennai, but when it comparatively to this place, this is something like a warm touch and a heart-touching one for the people who are staying in Chennai. And one of the most important thing is this is actually completely free.
Valluvar Kotam stands as a powerful symbol of Tamil literature and culture. Dedicated to the legendary poet-philosopher Thiruvalluvar, author of the timeless Thirukural, this landmark reflects the enduring wisdom of Tamil heritage. Built in traditional Dravidian style, its grand chariot-shaped structure houses a statue of Thiruvalluvar, celebrating literature, philosophy, and values that continue to inspire everyday life.
He wrote in all types of categories. What are all the living technologies are there, like how to live, how the king should rule, how the men should live, how the kids should live, what are all the basic ethics in life, what are all the things we need to follow. Those things and all was written by Thiruvalluvar a long back ago.
Chennai is not just a bustling metropolis, it's a seamless blend of culture, coastline, and contemporary living. The lively Besant Nagar market offers a vibrant shopping experience full of color and local flavor. Just a short walk away, Elliot's Beach brings a sense of calm, offering a peaceful escape from the city's fast pace. Nearby, the historic Annai Velankanni Church stands as a symbol of faith, history, and architectural beauty. It is this effortless blend of tradition and modernity that makes Chennai one of India's most vibrant and distinctive cities.
Chennai, where timeless tradition meets bold modern spirit, leaving you with stories that linger long after the journey ends. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Till then, goodbye and take care.